Okay guys, so before we get started, I will just show you the materials that I'm using for this vest. So as you can see here, this is the yarn that I'm using. This is Lion's brand Pound of Love, and it is 16 ounces or 454 grams. Okay, it's a medium weight, number 4. It's recommended to use 6mm crochet hook. It's 100% premium acrylic. Okay, machine washable and dryable, which is always good, and the color is called Hunter Green. Okay, so this is the yarn that I'm using. I will also be using crochet hook. I'm actually putting my size down to 5mm crochet hook as opposed to the 6 that is recommended for this yarn size. So I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. You will also need maybe a couple of stitch markers, scissors, and your tape measure, which is optional just in case you need to find out the size that you're making for your vest. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Okay guys, so to get this project started, the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a slip knot to be able to start our foundation chain. So this is how I'll do my slip knot here, and then I am going to chain 11. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Okay, so that's my chain 11 here, and then I am going to flip my chain so that I can work in these back stitches, which is these back bridges of the chain, and I'm going to skip the first stitch here, and in the second stitch I'm going to do a single crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to move on to the next stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet, and you're going to do the single crochets all the way to the end of your chain. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you guys when you get to the end of the chain. Okay guys, so this is the first row of these here. As you can see, that is 10 single crochets here. Okay, and this is the end of my first row, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with the second row, and I'm going to do that by chaining 1 and then turning my work, and then from here I'm going to do single crochet stitches in the back loop of my work. Okay, so I'm going to start right after the in the very first stitch after the chain 1, and I'm going to do my single crochet, and I'm going to continue to do this to the end of the row as well. So you'll always have 10 stitches that you're working with, so make sure you're paying attention so you don't create more stitches or you're going to lose stitches somehow. So you should always have 10 stitches, so make sure you're counting your work every now and then to make sure you're keeping your work nice and balanced. Okay, so I'm going to show you to the end of this row, and after this end of the row, it's pretty much this part of the project is repeated until we get to 60 rows. So I'll let you go ahead and build up your work and complete the 60 rows, and then you'll come back so we can start the next part together. So as you can see here, this is my 9th stitch right here, and I'm just gonna quickly count. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and my 10th stitch I'm going to go through both loops to create a more straight finishing here. So instead of going in the back loop only for the final stitch, I'm going to go through both like that. Okay, and then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to repeat this for the next 58 rows. So this is my row number 3. We have just done 2, so I'm going to let you guys build up your work from here. Okay, and keep in mind you will do 9 stitches in the back loop, and when you get to the 10th stitch, go through both loops, chain 1, turn your work, and then repeat. Okay, so that's my 60 row here of single crochet in the back loop. Okay, and now we're going to build up our vest upwards like this. And so right at the end of my 60th here, you may have different number of rows based on the size that you're making. And by the way, I'm making an extra small to a small, so this is what this size is for, and it's for myself. Okay, so at the end here I'm going to chain one. I'm just gonna center myself here, and after I've chained one, right in this stitch here I'm going to do a single crochet. Okay, and then I'm going to do a single crochet on top of this stitch here. Oops, just gonna redo that there. So right here I'm going to do a single crochet, and then on top here I'm going to do a single crochet, and then a single crochet in the valley here. So the way I'm doing it pretty much is I do a single crochet on top of these, and then a single crochet in this area that is a denty, and then on top of this bumpy area do a single crochet, and then I keep doing that. So when you get to the end here, come back and I'll show you how to start your next row, which is going to be repeat row. Okay, so see you in a bit. Okay guys, so I have completed this first row here of the single crochet, just to establish kind of like the first row where we're going to be working on our sweater vest. Okay, so from here, so just make sure you're going into the very final stitch here as well when you get to the end, because if you don't, it's going to look a little bit crooked on the end here. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to turn my work this way, and from this very first stitch here I'm going to do a half double crochet, just like that. And then I'm going to do pretty much half double crochets all along this. And what I do usually is I actually count this as my first row, not the single crochet stitch, the single crochet row that we just did, because I do the single crochet row just to establish stitches where I can then work my half double crochets into. So I'm going to do half double crochets all the way to the end, and this is pretty much going to be repeat until we finish this panel. Okay, so this is going to be the back panel of the sweater vest. So go ahead and work your half double crochet stitch all the way until you get to this end. Then when you get to this end, do your final here, chain one, turn your work, and repeat again. And you're going to do that until you get the length that you're looking for. I am going to do this for 60 rows. Again, remember, I'm not counting this first single crochet stitch as a row. This is my first row of the half double crochet. So I'm going to do 60 rows of the half double crochet to have my full back panel, and then I'm gonna come back to you to show you guys how it looks like, and then we're going to go ahead and work on our second panel, which is the front panel. Okay, so I'll see you guys when you're done your back panel. So I have my back panel for this sweater vest completed. So as you can see here, I have done my 60 rows as I said that I was going to do. So this is the end of my 60 rows here. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and start the front panel, and it's going to be exactly the same way that we started this. So you're going to start with your chain 11, and then do your single crochet in the back loop until you get to row 60. And then when you get to row 60, you will go ahead and do your first row of single crochet right after, right here. And then you're going to start to do your half double crochet stitches going through the both loops all the way until you get to row 40. When you get to your row 40, you're going to stop and come back, and I'm going to show you how to create the gap. Not quite a V-neck. We're not going to do a V-neck on the top of the sweater. We're just going to leave a gap in the middle. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to create mine as well for the front panel. When we get to row 40, come back to the video and I will go ahead and start the split of the sweater vest with you for the front panel. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so this is my second panel, which is the front panel. So when I left you guys, I said to build a duplicate of what the back panel is, but instead of doing 60 rows, to do just 40 rows. So this is my 40 rows here. Okay, and this is my 40th row here. And what I also did is I took a stitch marker and I counted the middle of this So I have 61 rows all together here. So I have 30 from this stitch marker to the left, and then I have 30 from this stitch marker to the right. Okay, so that is my exact middle here. And so what I'm going to do here is to go ahead and start our split. I am going to make sure I do what we've been doing. So I'm going to chain one, then turn my work. Okay. And then I'm going to continue to do what we have been doing, which is just do your single half double crochet stitches, just like we have been doing for the whole project. Okay. And I'm going to work this all the way until I get to the stitch marker. And when I get to the stitch marker, instead of continuing all the way to the end, I'm going to chain one, turn my work around, and then work backwards this toward the end again. So we're going to work on this one side until we get to row 60 on this side. So we're going to do 20 more rows. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same on the other side, but we're going to do this side first, and then we're going to do it on the other side next. All right, so this is our last stitch before the stitch marker. And so what I will do here is I will chain one, okay, turn my work so we can work back this way, and then just continue to do your half double crochet from the very next stitch after the chain one. Okay, then you're going to continue to do this all the way to the end, and then when you get to the end, you do the same thing. You do chain one, turn your work, and then pick up right in the very next stitch after the chain one, and continue to do your half double crochets. And you're going to do this until you get to row 20. So the row that I just did now is a row 1, and then this is row 2, and then I'm going to do 18 more rows to get to row 20. Okay guys, so I have completed my 20 rows here. So as you can see, this is where I have my stitch marker right in the middle. This is the other half of the front panel of the sweater, and this is the other half that I've completed here. And then I did 20 rows, so this is my 20th row here. So all together on this side I have 60 rows, and this side I still have 40 rows because I'm going to connect my yarn here and then go ahead and build up the other 20 rows here as well. Okay, so the yarn that I just cut off, and I'm going to flip my sweater this way because I'm right-handed. That way I can connect the yarn to the right hand side of the panel here, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the 20 rows on this side as well. And when we're done, that will be the end of the front panel. So we will now have our first panel done, which is the back panel, and then the second panel done, which is the front panel. And then I'm going to go ahead and work on the pouch, and I'm thinking of doing a hoodie as well with it. Okay, so those are all things that we're going to be doing with this. So I'm going to go ahead and do a slip knot here. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and just go and insert to the very first stitch here, bring it in and pull it through like that. Okay, and then I am just going to go ahead and continue to do my half double crochets going into the work, and I'm going to do this in each stitch going this way. Okay, so again, just so you guys understand, so I just connected this here, and then I'm going to go by doing my half double crochets until I get to my 30th stitch, which is the stitch right before the stitch marker. I'm going to chain one, turn it around, go back this way, and then I'm just going to continue to work and get my 20 rows. So I'm gonna be able to have exactly the same as this side. So I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and do that as well. And when you complete your second 20 rows here, come back. Okay guys, so I have completed my front panel of this sweater vest. So as you can see, when I left you guys off, we had already finished this side where we divided to have the gap that's going to be right on the chest, and this is the side that we completed together, and then I had started this for you guys to go on and finish it. So we're done. So now if I bring my front panel back into the view here, so this is pretty much how we would join it together. So if I line it like this, okay, All right, so this is pretty much how we're going to join the vest together. Is we will join this side, and right where we split the middle here, we're going to leave our arm section here, okay, and join it from here all the way to the bottom here, and the same on this side. And then we're going to also join the top. We're going to leave a little bit of it open here, so we're going to join the top here halfway up to here, and then on this side we're going to join the top halfway here, so that this section is going to kind of almost look like it's collars. So you can just wear it like this, or if you want you can kind of pull it out like this so it looks like it's a collar. And then the other portion of it that I did, so I went ahead and did a pouch, or like pocket, a front pocket, so it's more like a pouch. So instead of a pocket, it's a pouch. I went ahead and did that off camera. So I just pretty much did 45 chains, and then I did a half double crochet for 12 rows, and then I started to reduce on both sides twice. So I reduce here twice, and then when I go all the way to the end here and turn, I reduce it twice, and I continue to do that to bring it back in like that. So I'm also going to sew this on here like this. So I'm not showing you guys how to do the pouch because you guys it's very easy. So what I just explained is what you will do. If you are not sure how to do it, you can always message me and I will walk you through how to do that. But we're going to sew this in the front here like this, okay? And then so I completed a panel as well for a hoodie here. I did so my hoodie is about 28 inches long and 12 inches wide, and it's going to be folded like this, okay? And then I'm going to pretty much sew the top shut, and then the bottom is going to go behind the sweater and it's gonna curve in like this, so it's like a hoodie that goes up. And then we're going to have this as our gap where your face goes in, or where your face will be, okay? So these are all the different panels that we're doing. And by the way, this panel for the hoodie, I pretty much did 100 chains, and then pretty much did my half double crochet pattern all the way until I got my 12 inches. So this is 12 inches from here to here, okay? From here to here is 12 inches, and then from this end here to this end is 28 inches, okay? So that's all you have to do. So again, I'm not showing you guys how to make this because it's just literally half double crochet stitches, and you just have to know the size of the hoodie that you're making, and that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and join this. If you don't know how to sew, look at my other videos where I have done projects where I had to sew. I pretty much will be using my darning needle, and then just using the darning needle to join my work all the way up to here, stop here, join up here, stop here halfway, do the same thing on this side, and then sew these in. So for this, I'm going to sew it shut in the bottom, these sections here, and I'm going to be leaving these areas here for the pocket, for the pouch. Then I'm going to join this part on top here. Okay, so that's pretty much how I'm joining this on. All right, so I'll let you guys go ahead and do that while I do mine off camera as well. When I come back, I will show you guys how the finished sweater vest look like, okay? See you guys in a bit. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and if you haven't yet subscribed, because the people who watch my video, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I have 90% of the people who are watching are not subscribers and only 10% are subscribers. So if you're one of those people who are watching and haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so, and make sure you comment, like, and share the video, and also hit the notification bell, you guys, because that allows you to have notifications when I post a new video, and that way you can see what I'm posting, and if it's something you'd like to watch, you save it in your, save to watch later. If not, then you just skip that and you wait for the next one. Okay, so it's not a big deal, but like if you hit the notification bell, it does help you to see what I'm posting, and then you can see if it's something you're interested in or not. Okay, anyways, that's it for now. I will see you guys in my next video. Ciao ciao.